And that's going to be really, really important. But with Volley having no cooldown or no trinket, unfortunately, and getting locked out, this is the disaster. He swapped the talent, but he might not actually be able to use it just 1 second away. Is he going to trade it out? Lontar being a little bit greedy right now. Reload Esports hold on, but man, if we see Volley get interrupted or cross crowd controlled, Lontar could easily just get dropped here.
Yeah, there's a clear win condition right now on the side of Method here. Can they close it out? That is the question. Earthen Wall Totem gets dropped from Lontar. They're trying to wait here. They drop the Ring of Frost. Tess is looking for the cross crowd control. Gets a sheep onto Mercy, but Lontar's there with the Dispel. Now they have a full sheep here onto Volley. Chas is pushing in. Can they get the kidney shot before he can dispel Volley? That's the question. Lontar with a nice wind shear breaks up the CC chain here. They don't get the follow-up on Volley. They don't get the cross onto Mercy, which means that Lontar won't have any problem surviving right now. But this wasn't actually a kill attempt. This was just a bait go from Method. Now they have Vendetta and Combustion, and that's what they're going to commit here on this push right here. Here we go. Big damage coming in. There's the Combustion. There's the kidney shot. Waz is there with the follow-up cheap shot. Cheap shot Mercy. Cheap shot Lontar, and there is no way they're going to be able to survive that one. They had every offensive cooldown in the game there on the side of Method. Nicely done. They baited out the defensive utility. They go before that with the fade and reflect and things like that, and then they got the clean CC, and then they went for it and just completely obliterated Lontar. Closing the distance here, and he's coming out from Stun DR, so it could be a Chaos Nova coming in here. Do they have anything for Fnobbers? There's the Fell Eruption. This could be the Hunt as well coming through, but Warwick's, he's going to use one of his shields, and there's the Hunt! And that is going to be a Fnobbers! He's just laughing. He's like, what? He's like, you know what? Whatever, man. I can't heal through that. He's just nothing he could do. The only one with the trinket on the entire side of Golden Guardian now is Peekaboo. I don't know how he can peel the situation. He doesn't have a Vanish. So for Peekaboo, I really don't understand how the Golden Guardians are going to survive that next leg sweep from Nick. Especially if they decide to go after Abstairs. I don't think there's anything he can do if they get a clean swap to him, man.
Yeah, and first of all, let's see if Nick can survive.
Whoa!
This gets dropped! A beautiful setup. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm pretty sure the Void Volley is just hit over and over and over. So WizK is playing Void Volley. It is a new Shadow Priest ability. And when you use your Void form, you shoot out all these Void Volleys. And if you get unlucky, you can just get chain stunned over and over and over, or chain disoriented. Now we see Cerulean once again, potentially looking for a setup. Born Good trades out the trinket. There's no sacrifice traded just yet, as they're going after Aiden. So a little bit of a target change, just going after the Rogue. And this is what we saw from Unitas in game number 1 and 2. They just went after the Rogue. They went after Drake on that Assassination Rogue and were able to take him down 2 times in a row. So Method and A kind of realizing, hey, maybe the Mage isn't the best in this matchup. We'll just keep the Rogue defensive. We'll just deny him from any setups. But this should theoretically allow Nuke to get out a little bit more crowd control, dictate the match just a little bit more. But Kidney Shot lands, and Brain actually is forced to trade out the Divine Shield. And they actually do it! They drop him!
Oh my gosh.
Unitas Blue cannot believe it. Method and A. The look of disappointment on their face. I cannot believe Born Good is so happy.
Wow.
Oh my goodness gracious. Unitas Blue. This is the upset of the day. This is my favorite series of the day. If you're a skill capped, if there's ever a time to really push in on this map and just kind of go for it, this could be it. Houston just trying to line of sight. A beautiful war banner. Nicely done by Houston. You have to give him props. I mean, he's doing a great job so far. He's in the right place at the right time, using the cooldowns when he needs to, and as a result, they can get aggressive, but it's just going to take one good setup. Let's see what they decide to do. Alti with good positioning right now. Beautiful Fleshcraft. Houston's just going to be leaping away, trying to defend his Shaman from the Shadow Priest and any incoming crowd control. Here it comes. Big Spear of Bastion. Can they get the Dispersion? We're at almost 30% dampening. Frosty getting chopped up. He needs to not greet it. Dispersion comes in. Really, really scary moment in the match, but I feel like this is it. Bad Luck Bones, you got to go for it. There's no Iron Bar, there's no Dispersion, there's no Greater Fade. I think this is where they kind of throw caution to the wind, trade out the anti-magic zone if you can. Frosty could just go down. Big executes coming in. 1. There comes potentially 2. He gets interrupted. Asgoth just throwing in regrowth after regrowth. Tranquility to empower his heals, doing everything he can to keep them alive. Morrow trades out his Ice Block, interrupting ulti. Frosty somehow, some way manages to hold on. A beautiful Ring of Frost, and let's see if they can reverse this pressure now, Zico.
That was the miracle all in. They traded everything. Die by the sword, offensive avatar, offensive trinkets, ulti now in a full crowd control. Maro with the combustion. There's no way Houston survives this one. And that is going to be 3-1 for skill cap. But you gotta give this one, you gotta give a lot of props here to Bad Luck Bones. After getting completely crushed in the first game, they take it back on the hook point, and then what a showing here on Tolvir. So close. If they had an interrupt for that one Shadowman, we're probably going to see it in the replay when they're all-inning Prophecy. If we just had one interrupt on that one Shadowman, Prophecy would have died, you know, and Asgard as well. You got to give it to the man. This guy has no cooldowns, but he always knows, how can I heal the most effectively? How can I get as much HPS out as possible?
He's got the dispersion. Let's see if they can actually pull it. Right now, Chaz potentially even wanting to sneak away for a drink if he can. He's positioned at the pillar. Mana could be an issue as this game does go on. Nixie with a Stormbolt shuts down this attempt. Tanda drops down the Earthen Wall Totem using the Fleshcraft, pushing into the middle of the map, and a 30% dampening. Quanta Gaming seems to be wanting to get a lot more aggressive in the match.
Yeah, and we're going to see now Nixie charging in. Interrupts the Master Spell right there, actually. Pretty hard to do now with the improved Master Spell talent. Nyaki now in a lot of trouble. Oh my goodness, he just gets chopped up. Doesn't use. Look at Waz. He's so disappointed. He's like, what is going on? Cassidy he's like, what?
Cassidy's like, all right, I don't know what.
Confused as was. Sorry.
Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows what happened. Was that the Necro banner? And Nixie just got some insane. It was a Mortal Strike into it. Execute Zuniaki's health. I mean, if you're Zuniaki in that situation, you just played like this is the funny thing that happens is as dampening gets so high, you get comfortable with the pacing of the match, right? You're like, okay, well, I don't think I can die. Like I'm taking barely any damage. Like you know, we're gonna have to get some sort of insane setup, but you can still get caught off guard if the cooldowns line up, and you'll see that. I mean, we're high in dampening, but it was only Nixie on him. Only Nixie was attacking him at this moment. Zuniaki, he still has his dispersion, but obviously he doesn't want to trade it away. I mean, Quanta Gaming doesn't really get a nice setup here, so you can't blame him for not wanting to use it. But I mean, if he could go back, obviously I'm sure he would, but we'll see exactly what happens here. So the Ring of Fire comes down. Nixie kind of chases. He gets interrupted on that Master Spell. Really nicely done by Nixie. They go over to Tessia to kind of slow down the combustion damage just a little bit, but Nixie just walks over.
Boom.
What? That Mortal Strike was insane. That was like 40% of his health into an execute. Yeah, well, you know, Night Fae. All right, here we go. Hex on Sea-Doo. Kitty shot onto Mez. They're actually going after Mez in this matchup, and this is what I was interested in because Trill has prepared his character so well to survive that going after Mez could just be a way better option for them. They're just putting hexes out onto Trill, a silence on Sea-Doo. Now the shackles come in. He shadow melds. So Mez is actually playing the Night Elf Warrior as well. Another shackle trinket coming in. Ascendance comes in. Whiskey's dead! Whiskey's dead!
What?
From the game. Trill just killed him.
Wait, what? Look at Amsterdam. Look at Amsterdam.
Amsterdam was like, yeah, it happens, man.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, that's literally what he just said.
I didn't see what happened, but I'm going to tell you. Basically, I just saw Whiskey turning into, you know, he turned to dust. And I think what's going to happen, we'll take a look at the replay, but my guess is we see Zwen, we see Bone Dust Brew, and we see a Spinning Crane Kick. And I think that's the magic formula for WizK falling on the ground like that. So let's take a look at exactly how this plays out.
I actually didn't even notice that Whiskey was dead. Like, I was just looking at Mez. I was like, oh my God, Mez is going to die. He's on 1%. And then Whiskey is just dead on the ground. So
watch.
Yeah.
The formula. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. We're all anticipating the formula right now.
Yeah, the formula. It's going to be a Zwen. It's going to be Bone Dust Brew. Watch Whiskey. Okay, they're going for the shackles. They're so focused right now. Golden Guardians are just so focused. Let's see the Bone Dust Brew. Where's it at? There's the Bone Dust Brew. The images, Rising Sun Kick, and a Spinning Crane Kick. And it's just like, that is it's a lot of damage. So we saw the magic formula come in. Spinning Crane Kick legitimately did 60% of his health. The game ends under 60 seconds. And I mean, if you're Golden Guardians, that has to be very frustrating because at that moment you have OTK on the back. They're on the back foot, right? Like Naz and Sea-Doo are basically struggling to survive, and Trill just says, "Oh, I'm going to win the game," and then he does. So it's good stuff. All right, here we go. Reload Esports. Yep. Reload Esports, big cleave setup. They had great success in game number 1 for Horizon. They had to tag out Gelu. Fire Mage was just getting overwhelmed by these Ret Warrior Shaman cleave. Now it's going to be up to Casu, Relza, and Tony to see if they can kind of strike back. And this is their best map. So having this large map is going to allow Relza to drink, and that's going to be key, basically. So what I want to see from Reload Esports, if they want to win this, is when Relza goes for drink, just target the pet. Just kill the pet, and then if that happens, it's game over. So I think that's the line of play for Reload Esports. Just keep the pressure up when Relza tries to reset the match.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And we saw Casu's pet die on him a couple of times yesterday, so we'll see if he can keep them alive. Right now, Casu in camouflage here, just biding his time, waiting for the ideal situation to open. Tony, his comrade, is sitting there in stealth as well. Both of them. Are we? No way.
What?
They are going to open, right? They're not actually going to just be like, oh, well, we're not going to open unless you guys leave the pillar. And if you guys don't leave the pillar, well, dampening favors us, so you have to leave the pillar. Is that what they're doing?
Dampening only favors the bold, okay? This is...
All right.
I don't know. It's kind of cool, though.
What is that? That's awesome. Yeah, maybe.
It's fine.
All right.
This always happens. So the teams, basically what's happening right now is both teams think they're favored in dampening. So it's like Horizon's like, yeah, if dampening gets high enough and we have mana, we're just going to overwhelm you. And Reload Esports is like, we don't care about mana. We're just going to take you down through heals. So both teams basically, what I was going to say is eventually the teams get bored and I swear they just go in. Like it's a stalemate, but then someone's like, okay, well, whatever, let's just play.